My sister lied about her son's brain surgery to ruin my $8,000 honeymoon, so I called CPS after finding him alone for 3 days, starving on cereal. My sister Katie has always been jealous of me. When I got into nursing school, she suddenly wanted to be a nurse too, but never finished the application. When I got engaged, she announced she was pregnant 2 days later to steal the attention. So when I told the family about my honeymoon to Hawaii, I should have known something was coming. We'd saved for 2 years for this trip. My husband Mark and I both work full-time and planned everything down to the last detail. The resort, the flights, the excursions, all of it cost about $8,000. This was our dream vacation. 3 days before we were supposed to leave, Katie called me sobbing. She said her 6-year-old son Liam needed emergency brain surgery, that doctors found a tumor and had to operate immediately. She was a complete mess on the phone, begging me to cancel my trip and help her through this. I felt terrible. Liam was my nephew and I loved that kid. I asked which hospital and when the surgery was scheduled. Katie got weird and vague, saying she'd text me the details later, but something felt off. I called my mom to ask about Liam's surgery. Mom had no idea what I was talking about, said Katie hadn't mentioned anything about a tumor or surgery, that Liam seemed perfectly fine when she saw him 2 days ago. I confronted Katie about it. She started crying harder, saying mom was in denial and didn't want to believe Liam was sick. She sent me a blurry photo of what looked like a hospital room, but I couldn't see Liam in it. Just an empty bed. My gut was screaming that something was wrong, but I didn't want to be the heartless sister who went on vacation while her nephew had brain surgery. Mark said we should postpone the trip just in case. We lost $4,000 in cancellation fees. The day of the supposed surgery, I drove to Katie's house to be there for her. Nobody was home. Her car was in the driveway, but the house was completely dark. I called her phone like 10 times. Nothing. Finally, she texted back saying they were still at the hospital and the surgery went well. I asked which hospital again. She said she had to go and would call me later. 2 more days went by with no updates. Katie wouldn't answer my calls or texts. Mom was getting worried too. On the 3rd day, I decided to just show up at her house. When I got there, the front door was unlocked. I walked inside and the house was a disaster. Trash everywhere, dishes piled in the sink, laundry all over the floor. Then I heard crying coming from upstairs. I ran up and found Liam sitting in his room alone, still in the same clothes from 3 days ago. He was eating dry cereal straight from the box because there was nothing else. The kid was 6 years old and had been completely alone for 3 days. No food in the fridge except for that cereal and some milk that had gone bad. No adults anywhere. He told me his mom said she had to go away for a few days and he should stay in his room. I was shaking with rage. My sister had made up a fake brain surgery to guilt me into canceling my honeymoon, then abandoned her son to go do who knows what. I took Liam to my house, fed him a real meal, and let him take a shower. Then I called Child Protective Services and filed a report, told them everything. The fake medical emergency, the abandoned child, the condition of the house. They opened an investigation immediately. Katie showed up at my door that night, furious, screaming about how I had no right to take her son or call CPS. I asked where she'd been for 3 days. She said it was none of my business and that Liam was fine. Turns out Katie had been at her boyfriend's beach house the whole time. She made up the brain surgery story, hoping I'd cancel my trip and stay home. Then she could go party with her boyfriend guilt-free. She figured Liam was old enough to handle a few days alone. The CPS investigation found the house in terrible condition and multiple instances of neglect. Liam is now staying with my mom while Katie goes through court-ordered parenting classes. She's not allowed unsupervised visits. My family is split. Half think I did the right thing, half think I overreacted and should have just talked to Katie first. But I don't care what they think. That little boy was alone and scared and hungry for 3 days because his mom wanted to ruin my honeymoon. We rebooked Hawaii for next year. This time, I'm not telling Katie anything.